right now I'll give you an idea of what this famous Elsie Marley tune sounds like. There's Elsie Marley. Do you ken Elsie Marley is what the song says. Ken, of course, not really an English word. They use it up in Geordie land there. The Scots use it. I think it's a Scandinavian word. Do you know Elsie Marley? And you will very soon. It's not a very hard tune to play, though in that arrangement I thought it was good enough that I put it on a record some time ago. So it should be fairly easy to do, but you can perform a version of it. If you want to get the words, I learned it from recordings by a group called the High Level Ranters. Made some excellent records back in the 60s, 70s for a topic of Geordie, Northumberland folk songs. That was one that Tom Gilfillan sang for the High Level Ranters. Well, what we're going to do now is go over the guitar version of Elsie Marley. Now, without the words, this is in 6/8 time, so it's very similar to when we need to play jigs, which are the 6/8 tunes, the sort of da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da, Irish washerwoman, that kind of feeling. And this is one way to do that. Usually in this sort of thing, we're going to have, as we do in this tune, 2 bass notes to the bar, each going with, well, if there's 3 notes that go over it when they're all eighth notes, da-da-da-da-da-da, or if it goes da-da-da-da, then like that, you'll get a bass note for each of those phrases. When we start off, just sort of to recap or to preview how it's going to be, we're going to split the screen in a minute and I'll go over the whole thing slowly. And you'll be able to look at the left hand and the right hand. But before we get to that, I'll just sort of give you a preview of what to expect. The right hand on this is fairly straightforward, so we won't have to be too concerned with it. What I'm doing here, I'm using the 3 fingers besides my thumb on my right hand. The ring finger is going to be responsible for the high string, middle finger for the second string, and index finger for the third string. If you're not used to using your ring finger, this would be a good tune to try that technique, because I always teach even beginning students to use that ring finger on the right hand. That way when you don't need it, you don't have to use it, but you never have to think about it again. Now mostly what we're going to be involved here, now is look at the left hand. I'm going to teach you something right now, right at the beginning of this lesson, that Andre Segovia went to his grave not knowing. That is the secret chord on the guitar, and it's made with your thumb. Andy, of course, wouldn't associate himself with that kind of thing. Actually, I'm joking, obviously, and classical guitar players will use their left thumb when they absolutely have to. They just try to pretend they won't. But this is a great chord. When you're finger picking and you're trying to get that sort of quarter notes going in the bass, which we so often want to do, with this particular shape, you've got a great way to play a G chord, and you got 4 fingers here, free to do all kinds of things. And you don't have to worry about one of these fingers here being taken up for that bass note. So we're starting out right at the beginning, teach you that secret chord. And that's what's going to happen when we're doing all this stuff. And there's not really going to be too much that's difficult. If you notice that, this is like looking like a little abbreviated F chord. like this, but moved up 2 frets. Just with your first 2 fingers there, covering the top 3 strings. This is going to be a little bit of a stretch in the left hand because you're going down to where there would be an F position, but you're keeping your thumb hooked around. Again, I'm going to show you something now. If that feels like a big stretch and you want to get how to do that, you say, oh, I just can't possibly reach up there with my thumb. Well, the way to do it is say, okay, now I'm going to go to the 4th fret. You say, oh, that's kind of an even more impossible stretch. Well, try the 5th fret. Well, you get to something where it's really impossible. Continue to stretch like that. When you go back to the original position, you'll find that it's easy. Now, that seems like a game. It seems like a joke. But what in fact happens is that you're just stretching out the muscles. As any runner can tell you, before you go for a run, you'll stretch out those leg muscles and you'll actually get several inches more stretch in it. You can do the same thing in your left hand. So for that stretch, or any stretch that you encounter really with your left hand on the guitar, remember that little trick there. It'll help you. We have this one phrase that recurs a lot, always ends every section of Elsie Marley. It's not very hard. You have this little shape here, 5th fret with these 2 fingers on the 1st and 3rd string. That's the 3rd fret of the 4th string. And then this is just going into an F chord. And again, F with your thumb here. If you people are absolutely allergic to using your thumbs, I'll allow you to make a bar chord there. But the beginning part of this, you're really going to have to get used to using the thumb. I think we can actually go ahead and split the screen. The second part shouldn't present great difficulties. It's all out of normal 1st position chords. So I think right now I'm going to get the screen split here. You get the left hand over the right hand, and I'll play through Elsie Marley a couple of times real slow, and after that I'll bring it up to speed. Stretch. Secret chord with stretch. There's a little F. Don't move the ring finger on that. I'll show you what I mean. Here. Ring finger stays the same there. Back to the secret chord. Stretch. Here's our F. Move the middle finger up and then back down for that one. Away we go.